Good morning. So we have been exposing the crime of the century, right? And now it's getting more and more clear that media will start to take credit for this. That's right. I saw this from the UK. The Telegraph, they said Matt Hancock should be arrested for willful misconduct in public office. Okay? And yesterday I talked about that article in the New York Post where they exposed the myths of COVID, right? And then I saw The Guardian. Now listen to this. This is what The Guardian is saying about this thing with Matt Hancock in the UK. They say this: but those we have seen so far confirm what was already obvious for those with the front row seat on the UK government's bungling of COVID, that there was a huge gulf between what public health experts and scientific advisors were recommending and what the UK government actually did, even as ministers claim to be following the science. They are now trying to take credit for all this. And in the general public, this will be possibly the general conclusion. Oh, thank you, media. You exposed these bad politicians for what they did. I saw in Australia highest excess mortality in 80 years. And this is getting into mainstream media. Also New Zealand, highest excess mortality in 100 years. Right. Getting into media, you see. Possibly this is why Jacinda Ardern left, right? The politicians will be blamed and media will try to look like the heroes. That's right. That's what I see. Yeah, the politicians, they deserve, of course, the blame. But media, they should get at least as much blame as the politicians. What they did. But they will try this. They are already. That thing from The Guardian, that was priceless. No. Other politicians, they have problems, of course. No, back in the old days, you come and say, oh, I'm a politician. I'm a big deal. And many people would agree. Now they come and say, I'm a big deal. And you say, no, you're not. You're an asshole. Right, I was, like the Democrats in the United States. They have this guy Biden stumbling around in the White House like a drunk. And they have Kamala Harris talking like a 6-year-old. No. And now this thing with the Capitol Hill, right? What happened on January 6th? That Shaman guy. Did you see that footage? So there's footage now. It was shown by Tucker Carlson. I'll post a link to it if you haven't seen it. So this Shaman guy, the guy with the big horns, he was walking around inside the Capitol Hill, and he had guards with him. It was like they knew each other. He was knocking on the door, and it was like they expected him. Oh, it's you, the shaman. Yeah, welcome in. And they were following him, showing the rooms to this guy. And they used this incident to frame Trump, right? Well, it's not looking good for them. I also saw this extremely weird quote from Hillary Clinton. Listen to this. This is what she said. Women and children are the primary victims of conflict and of climate change. And there is no place that, unfortunately, tragically, shows us that more dramatically than Ukraine today. So how did you get climate change into this? And the girls and the women? Well, I understand, if there's a war, the women and children will suffer, of course. How did climate... I have an idea, so I wrote it down. This is what she should have said. Right? Ukraine is a dramatic example of climate change. Black Lives Matter, the religion of peace, that Trump is bad, and that we need more abortions. See? That's what you should have said, Hillary. Now, when you had a chance, just add a lot of stuff into this, right? Crazy. All right. Be good.